Welcome back to Hack City, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Joe DeLeone and Sean Anderson. I just pointed up myself for Sean Anderson.
Right back in the rhythm, man. Way to be.
I don't know how we haven't missed a step. No steps have been missed.
If you haven't watched a video of ours from the last FCS video to these FCS videos, don't worry. We haven't gotten better. This is a show.
You haven't gotten better.
We will stay the same. We are Frasier. We are MASH. You come back in here, we're playing the hits.
Okay, well, part two of everything that you missed from the FCS this past offseason. We're going to talk about biggest names that moved around, as well as some key guys that are coming back that you need to know. If you missed part one, go check that out. A lot of movement, coaches, teams moving around. Let's start with the major transfers, Sean. Jamar Curtis, who was a baller at running back for Lafayette. This is one that I'm excited about. Heading to Sac State. Sac State's got Jaden Rashada, and they have Jamar Curtis, former five-star quarterback, one of the best running backs in the FCS at one point. This is going to be fireworks at Sac State. I know a lot of people want to clown on them, including us, who we quite literally just called them ugly, and nobody wants them.
And broke.
Oh, well, no, not broke. We said that they
but you can still call someone broke if you're going to be
sure,
running them down.
Sure. This is going to be really exciting, though. There's going to be a lot of fireworks with this offense. I'm buying it. Would you just get bit by something?
No. I don't know if my chair is breaking underneath me or not. I think it's just resettling. I like the FCS to FCS transfer way more in the current era. I don't know why. It grabs. Previously, FCS guys would move around. I'm gonna bop. I'm done here. I coach issues or new coach, and I'll just go to another. Now, with everyone trying to poach everyone, all these coaches are on every player's DMs, trying to get them, trying to find any tiny, minuscule edge. An FCS to FCS move where Lafayette's fine, Sac State's a little more promising. You're like, oh, wow. We're seeing a little bit of the juice and a little bit of the talent layers in the FCS market sort itself out. These fire me up a good amount, the FCS to FCS ones.
The other big FCS to FCS move, the rest of these are departures that I'm going to just rattle off, knowing so you know where they went. If you want to root for them, pay attention to them. Kakoa Vesperis from EWU. EWU is transferring to Tennessee Tech, the alma mater of a Mr. Sean Anderson Sr.
Mm-hmm.
This is exciting stuff. They're getting a lot of preseason buzz. Last season finished pretty strong. Didn't make the playoffs, but finished strong. And now got a gunslinger at quarterback.
That is an apt term to describe Vesperis, Joe. Well, I thought that he and the dynamic EWU air him out offense that is just...
Say it like I did.
What?
EWU. Until they're good. I'm only going to call it that until they get better.
The Vesperis is an exciting quarterback. He's got experience. He appears to be a very feel-based quarterback. When he's in the zone, you can tell. When he's not in the zone, you can definitely tell. But for the most part, this is an overwhelming win for Tennessee Tech, and going to have them real competitive this year. I think he's a gamer, and he will. They have to get it sorted as well, or else I'm going to have to do that every week, and I don't want to have to do that.
Well, yeah, you better get used to it. EWU has been awfully disappointing, and Vesperis was one of their few bright spots that they had last year. I would have thought he would have stayed because he's from Washington. He's from Eatonville, Washington. He was fantastic in terms of his touchdown interception ratio, 17-2 for that ratio. He's also pretty good rusher last year, had 375 yards on the ground, 9 touchdowns. He's like your prototypical Eastern Washington quarterback. I don't know if you know how big he is, but if you had to guess what his physical profile was based off of me just saying that, how tall and how big do you think he is?
Maybe like 5'11", 215, 220.
6 foot 190.
He looks small. He definitely looks small.
Which probably means he's 5'10" and a half, and he's 190.
We can expect him to not be as small this year because coming from Washington to Cookeville, Tennessee, you better get familiarized with Bobby Q's, Mr. Vesperis. Take a bite of that banana pudding that they got going there in Cookeville, and you're not going to be 190 anymore. It is still remains the best dessert I've ever had in my life. The best banana pudding, maybe, rather. But he's gonna thicken up a bit in Tennessee, which could be good for him. If I get a little chunky Vesperis rolling around the pocket, dotting up, the Golden Eagles could be on a real tear this year.
I can't. There's nothing on the IG of any new posts to him or anything. Most recent one that he has is from June. I'm trying to see if he looks a little porky. That would be awesome if he was.
On a barbecue in Tennessee. I'm telling you, that banana pudding at Bobby Q's in Cookeville, Tennessee. If you're ever there, if you're an FCS listener, you're ever in Tennessee in that area, I'm not going to steer you wrong.
Have you been to Tennessee Tech?
I have. I did a visit. I went there on a visit, and I also was there for my dad going back for a homecoming one year.
Okay, so now that
they got a big stadium. They got a nice stadium.
Tennessee Tech has always been dog ass. They've been absolutely unwatchable garbage. But now they're getting some buzz. Can we get a weekly Papa Anderson quote on Tennessee Tech?
I think we can do
that.
Us
a weekly, just send you a text. We'll read the text on the show.
A weekly dad text from him about the team would be good. It could just be played good this week, or it could be
that's all I want.
So
just a thumbs up.
You know what?
Thumbs down. That's all I want.
We can do that.
I'm sure your dad will cook that up nice. Okay, these are the group of guys that left that are big name players that were highly recognized in the transfer portal. Hunter Zambrano, Illinois State. He transferred to Texas Tech. I'm still super high on Illinois State despite losing him.
Yep.
Derek Simmons, Western Carolina, one of the best FCS offensive linemen. He transferred to Oklahoma. He actually is probably not going to start Oklahoma, so kind of dumb on his part. But I guess he's getting paid. They needed depth, and that's what they're getting. Mike's Grace, who was super, super productive at South Dakota last year, he transfers to Kentucky. I'm not that high on South Dakota. I've seen a lot of buzz for South Dakota in these preseason rankings, and they got kind of cleaned out.
We'll talk about a return that makes
Full
enough
line
buzz.
left too.
I understand.
Joe Cotton was one of those guys.
I understand, but retaining a quarterback that's recognized as a good quarterback in the FCS, it matters.
Yeah, but he's got a whole new offensive line. Basically, literally, what happened is that teams are so bad at recruiting high school offensive linemen and developing them that they all put their hands on their heads and went, "Oh shoot, we're really in a lot of trouble here. I'm trying to be cleaner." Look at that. I can broadcast.
They said a lot of things.
I can broadcast
one thing.
Oh no, we don't have any offensive linemen. Where are we going to go get them? All the big name guys are going and transferring to Oregon, and we can't touch any of these dudes.
Yeah.
So what they just did is they pointed at the South Dakota roster, didn't even check if they were good or not. I'm like, hey, you want to come play for us?
You're a body. You always need bodies. That's something that the football world, you're never going to get enough bodies. You can never have enough big men on the team. And when you see teams that you've spent some time with deer, right? Like are you able to tell the difference between a healthy deer and a sickly deer?
Yeah, there's a lot of deer in New Jersey, actually.
The offensive lineman is similar to the deer, the American deer, where some of them real beefy. They look like their coat is clean. They look like they're eating regularly. They're strong. You can see it's almost like a deer has shoulders.
I don't think anyone's compared
you
offensive linemen to deer before.
And then you see some of these FCS teams that trot out some linemen that are 260, that are like 275.
Back to like 1980s football.
Those are the sickly deer. And I know because I was one of them for many years. And I actually was a perennial sickly deer even when I was 320.
So now when you don't need to be this big.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
I just love it.
Sorry.
I just love being the bad deer. But we're seeing more and more sickly deer in the FCS because they are getting poached. Unfortunately, somewhat rightfully so, because the big body now comes at a premium. And if you have guys on your team that are a capable big body, try to protect them the best that you can.
Jordan Dwyer, who was a great receiver for Idaho, transferred to TCU. And then this one is one that really hurt my heart. Maverick MacGyver went to Western Kentucky. He's
FCS
trying to do
All-Stars all over again.
He's trying to do the Bailey Zappi
Give it to me, Maverick.
But this one bothered me because I want to be able to talk about Maverick MacGyver every single week. He was the Grimace Conference encapsulated. He was the Grimace. He was.
We lost him. This is on us. This is on us from the top. We didn't do enough for him.
Where's the nearest train station near Western Kentucky that we could go pick him up? That is a deep pull. I don't know if anyone's going to get.
We would need to. West Kentucky's fine. I like the West Kentucky FCS pipeline. They're a team that isn't afraid to go down and really find some guys. And it feels like they scout really good guys. Like they're not just pulling names out of a hat. They're pulling some of the best historically out of the FCS. I hope he breaks the record. Break the record. They might get real deal stories about the FCS to Western Kentucky quarterback pipeline for quirked up quarterbacks that are short.
Hell yeah.
That would be awesome.
Hell yeah. All right, key guys that are coming back. Those guys are gone. We'll never talk about them again, ever. Who? MacGyver who? I don't know who that is. These guys came back, though, because they're real dudes. They're real football players. They're real ballers.
They love the bros.
Yeah.
Sticking it out.
Yeah. They're ready to go. All right. There's 2 quarterbacks that are coming back. 2 that you need to know. Derek Robertson coming back from Monmouth. Only 3,000-yard quarterback coming back to the FCS. Aiden Bauman, the big man, the big moose himself. Those are the 2 best quarterbacks in FCS returning that you need to know about. I'd throw Devin Farrell from URI in there as well. But those 2 guys stand alone for the statistics that they put up. Victor Gabalis is also coming back for Tarleton. Shit.
Robertson was very strong last year on a Monmouth team that ended up 6-6, I believe, top of mind. Give it to him. And Robertson was airing it out, not afraid. He's one of these he's not Bauman. All right. Bauman is big horse in the backfield, and I'm just running the offense. There's going to be some lumps, and I know it. And sometimes I might get down, but when I go good and I'm great, it's really good. I look that part. Robertson is one of these dudes that's in the FCS, and he says, while I'm here taking starting snaps, you're going to see the ball in the air. You're going to see it flying. I like what he does. I was a fan of him last year. I'll track him intently this year, and I'm excited for Monmouth this season. Having a dude like this is very important with them. And then I guess since I don't like treating him like the ugly duckling here, but since he was left out of the original monologue, Gabalis is solid too. He's a bit of a tank back there. And Tarleton has
needs Maverick MacGyver to represent the Grimace Conference?
Come on, Victor.
Victor Gabalis, elite name, all-name team.
Gabalis Victor balls out. What do we want to do with him?
Victor balls out. Victor.
It's close.
Victor balls out Gabalis. I like that. Victor balls out Gabalis.
That's right.
Wait, Victor, get your balls out Gabalis.
That's good. There we go. Thank you. That's all we needed.
Boom.
Learn it. Live it. Love it.
Smiths.
That's what we're working with this year. And Tarleton was a team
podcasting
that we had trashed because they came in the FCS and they said, we're looking to get out as quick as possible. We're ready. We don't want to be here for long. And I said, well, that's kind of arrogant. But what have they done? They've invested in the football program. They've turned in pretty good teams. They had a good year last year, and it's looking like they're going to have another good year. So Tarleton, I guess while we still have them, not bad for the subconference one bit.
Bauman's so big that you would think a G5 program or like a mid-level Power 4 program would pick up the phone and be like, hey, man, we need you. I'm surprised somebody didn't try to pluck him, and I'm sure that someone maybe attempted to.
Mm-hmm.
Credit to Bauman for coming back. I like to root for him. He's just a really sturdy kid who's stuck around through it all. Gabalis has been to a million different schools. He's been to Utah Tech. He was at Washington State. Now he looks like a Walmart version of Gardner Minshew.
Hey, that's
not
our
a
guy.
mean way, not
that's
a mean way. It's
here.
a good way. In a good way. Victor, get your balls out, Gabalis.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody tell him we
other shows would say Victor balling out Gabalis or he's balling out now. No, get your balls out.
Yeah, get your balls out. Just the balls. Roland Dempster comes back for Stony Brook. He was a tank on the ground, 1,300 yards, 18 touchdowns. Charles Pierre also returns for South Dakota. So those are the 2 best running backs to keep your eye
on. Both were very strong. Dempster is a huge reason of why I'm high on Stony Brook this year. He is a monster in the backfield. And if they didn't run their offense through him, I probably wouldn't be a high on Stony Brook. But after the production last year, rolling into this year, you have to assume he's going to be big-time bell cow, and they're going to be running down people's throats. Ugly wins. Dempster, 189 yards, 30 touches, 3 touchdowns, and Stony Brook wins. Like that's where you're going to see a lot this year. And you should. That's how they should operate. He's the best player on their team.
Sorry. Trying to text Ryan. Bryce Lance gets back for North Dakota State. He was prolific during their playoff run. Another guy, shocked that somebody didn't throw an insane bag at him. Credit to Bryce Lance for returning. North Dakota State might be resetting at quarterback and moving on from a couple guys that jumped to the NFL like Ray Zabel, but Bryce Lance is going to be in this 2026 NFL draft discussion. Tall, long, reliable hands, playmaker. It's the type of athlete that you usually don't see at the FCS level. So Bryce Lance is a guy to keep track of.
Yeah, Lance was super clutch during their playoff run last year, and I know Cam Miller took huge strides, and it was good. It was better than he had been. I'm sure that helped out Bryce Lance a lot. But some of the catches that Bryce Lance made were impeccable. Another wide receiver that I should have written down, but I'll just throw in here. Jalen Walthall from Incarnate Word is returning. Redshirt senior there. He had a huge, massive year last season, so keep your eye out on him. He is going to be a big receiver to watch.
2 linebackers to know. One of his teammates, Logan Kopp, coming back. Shane Hartzell for Villanova, who was super productive for them last year. We always have to bring up Rex Connors, who is beautiful hair, fantastic playmaker. They're a team that's roster got gutted, but I'm so glad that he's coming back, man. He's just going to be rocking out back there in that secondary for UC Davis. And also have to throw a little bit of love to 2 elite pass rushers returning who are going to be on our Buck Buchanan watch list when we get to that show. URI linebacker AJ Pena, 12.5 sacks last year. Kelby Givens from Southern, 12 sacks. 2 big-time elite pass rushers at the FCS level returning to dominate.
People were shocked that Pena didn't return to Rhode Island. I think
a very brief stint at Memphis.
Yeah, he is an absolute force in the FCS. I think he'd be a force at a lot of places also, honestly. His build is great. Linebacker is obviously becoming more of a fluid word now, and we're losing the true middle linebacker when you think of like Ray Lewis or Zach Thomas or these guys that kind of define what the linebacker position is. Pena is in this new camp of I'm going to do it all and I'll be called a linebacker. And I think that's what makes him so appealing on all levels. And the production that comes with that is only the cherry on top. So excited to see some of the big stars back in the FCS this year.
Pena is exciting, and I'm glad his return for URI's sake. Like, their defense is going to be awesome this year. I'm also really glad that nobody did the whole, and most importantly, glad that Coach Flem didn't say, "Oh, you left us, we don't want you back." What I think has made URI so good is that they've just been so welcoming of anything.
Yeah,
that actually happened a lot in our time, where guys left and then kind of randomly showed up back again.
It's weird seeing football programs operate in, like, at times very cold, seemingly to outsiders, cruel ways that are just like, this wouldn't happen anywhere else. That's true. But football, on the other side of that coin, it's like you just don't get this many chances anywhere else, and you do. And I'm not saying they gave AJ Pena another chance. He would have landed on his feet at many other locations. But the ability to play both sides of that coin well, I think, is a huge reason why URI has been way better, is the best way I could put it. I think that they've made big strides since.
There's a reason why you or I are hyped on your URI for this 2025.
I forgot how many puns you do on the FCS.
Why don't I do this during the NFL show?
I don't know.
I don't know where this just got like unlocked when I was doing. Like, where was this? You're
juice. A different person. I swear to God, you're a different person talking FCS.
It bothers me that I'm not using this. I think part of it too, I was telling you before we taped, back in writing for A to Z Sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed how creative I could be when I write. So I think that's maybe that's it today. The juices were flowing.
I like
kind
it.
of returned.
Let's uncork the bottle here and see what we can get out of the Joe DeLeone glass. Can I have a little sip?
No.
It smells like balls.
No.
All right, let me put that back in.
All right. I came up with Victor Gabalis' nickname.
I didn't. No, you did not say you did not. You would not even have had a Victor Gabalis nickname if I didn't start it off by workshopping a balls line. Wouldn't even gotten there. Give me a break. I put the skeleton together, and you found the 206th bone on the finger, and said, "Oh, I finished the puzzle."
If I didn't come along with my insight, it would have been a bad nickname. You were No.
I would have got it done.
You were mashing together a bunch of dough, but you didn't know how to put it in the oven. You don't even know what the oven was. I put it in the oven. It's a fully baked cake now.
Pal, I've made homemade pizzas before. They'd knock your balls off. They'd knock your Victor balls off.
On a serious note, do you think we could convince, how we need to push this?
Mm-hmm.
How can we get, my goal by the end of the season is to get the Tarleton State account to refer to him as that.
Oh, look, they're going to... Since we're so smart and clever and handsome,
I think they're going to think we're better. They're too good for us.
That's true. They are. Any real football social account is better.
But they love pulling clips from us, though.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we understand our role, but now maybe we're going to try to really strong arm some people to get the real FCS narrative going, and that's calling and starting getting nicknames, real bad
Victor,
nicknames.
Get your balls out, Gabalis. Wait, let's see if we can come up with some other ones. Aiden Bauman.
Aiden, bow down to that man.
Yes, Aiden, bow down to that man. See, that could be
PG. A radio call. That could be.
Aiden, bow down to that man. Bauman gets in the end zone.
If they steal that on air
I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed.
Just credit the guys.
Be bullshit. Roland Dempster. Wait, is it Dempster?
Dempster.
Okay, I just wrote it wrong. Roland Dempster.
I mean, that's Roland. Roland.
Well, I was gonna go with Roland. Dump you in the no. Put you in a dumpster. Dempster. No, that's bad. That one is a John Sterling level bad.
Sterling, dude, that would be. Why has no one done that? Why? I'm sure they have. We haven't seen it, but workshopping nicknames with John Sterling for an hour. I would listen to a full hour of that. No, that wouldn't work. No, not. He would just start carving your shit up.
I think he'd be the ultimate guys guy who could just sit there and do that for 6 hours straight in a bar. Guys need to be doing that. I found this TikTok account, by the way. There's this guy. I don't know if he's a play-by-play, but what he does is he plays NCAA, and while he's playing, instead of like streaming and like talking and just like being a total goober, he's doing play-by-play commentary. Like super serious play-by-play commentary.
Oh, that's great.
Over the games, over like G5 football. It's awesome. We need more people doing that. Rex, wreck your shit, Connors.
I don't know if that's going out on air, but would you want it? I mean, you don't know if you want to go dinosaur.
Break your heart, Hartzell. Break your skull, Hartzell.
We're jumping around too much here.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't.
Can we do a Bryce ice cold Lance? Bryce,
Bryce put him on ice, Lance.
Well, I don't mind that. And Bryce put him on ice, and he's going for the pylon.
Kekelby giving it to him, Givens.
Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah.
Someone give us a
it's
broadcast
a little bit now.
Flow Sports. Nobody watches your crap platform.
It's bad.
Give us. We should do a Manning cast.
It should be a Manning cast.
2 hours of this.
And honestly, they should just put us on not as like
canceled memberships after listening to one of them.
There's a lot of could you imagine? They're sitting here, those preseason meetings. Guys, I know it looks bad, but we're trying everything. We got these two morons. They do a show. I think they got some pull. We're gonna try to get them going. And then mid-season reports come along. How are we doing worse? We couldn't get worse.
It would be McAfee-esque where the plug would get pulled as soon as we said, Victor, get your balls out, Gabalis. What did he say? Some guy like what? There's going to be a broadcasting guy, like a broadcast executive or like a mid-level guy that was listening to the show and thinks we're funny. And like there's going to be someone higher up that has never listened to us ever. This is what I aspire. I aspire us to get so successful that this predicament happens. Someone who's never listened to the show listens in for the first time and goes, what did I just spend my money on?
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. You let these guys put a pen to paper?
Get him out.
Tear
it
up.
Mute it.
No, we are wiping it all. We are wiping everything. You know what? We'd be right back here.
Just one of those executives who's just mailing it in, just not paying attention. Like, yeah, whatever. Just sign off on it. And I'm sure it'll be fine. Who's got pull?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many people we can bully to get there because we bullied our way onto the ballot, and now we're gonna have to.
Did we?
I think we bullied our way to get both of us on the ballot. There was one spot where, like, look, we can't decide, Craig. You have to decide.
That was almost a friendship ending.
That would have been a bad one. That would have been a real bad one.
All right. Well, this is a show-ending statement. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to Hack City, presented by FanDuel, at Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio, at Hack City Pod. Subscribe, comment, 5-star review. We'll talk to you later.